Hello viewers, my name is Wrongways Gamgee, and welcome to the Quick and Dirty Role-Playing channel. This episode is going to be structured a bit differently. It's going to be unscripted, and I'm mainly going to focus on showing some of the books that I have on my bookshelf over there. I'm going to display a handful of books and give just a brief overview on each of the books. Enjoy. This is the Trinity Continuum core rulebook. I have been looking in. One of the things that caught my interest was at the time of this recording, the most current iteration of basically the storyteller system, used for like Vampire the Masquerade and Werewolf the Apocalypse and Mage the Awakening and the World of Darkness in general, but it being called the Story Path system. And that incorporates like more narrative mechanics than before. Like if you were to fail rolls, you generate momentum to then help you out in future rolls. And also with surplus successes allowing you to do basically combat stunts or just other kinds of stunts in general, which I think is really great for expanding the possibilities of what characters can do on the table without requiring a whole bunch of a list of feats or talents or whatnot. And I was looking for a game that can serve as a baseline for basically the whole of that the story path system, and I believe this happened to be it. This game in particular, you create exceptional people that have the ability to do, let me see, their special abilities basically translates to TV show budget type superpowers. The less special effects that you can produce with it, then the more you can emulate that. I am sorry if that's a very vague description of the kind of special things that people can do in this game, but it is what it is. This is Wild Talents, superhero role-playing in a world gone mad, not got mad. Got mad, dog! This is the Essential Edition, which it's basically just the rules and none of the setting. I think the setting for this game is the same one from an earlier version of this game called Godlike, superhero role-playing in a world on fire, which basically takes place in World War II. This is a continuation of that timeline. This game uses the one-roll engine, where similarly to the storytelling system, you combine an attribute and a skill and you roll that many d10s. However, rather than looking for a target number, what you're looking for is matches. And the matches tell you basically how successful you are, if you're successful, and how quickly you get the task done. And in combat, it tells you how much damage you deal and what body part you hit. So say you roll 3 4s, which is very good. It's exponentially harder to go to get a match beyond 2 dice. It will be noted as 3 by 4. 3 being the width, which is the amount of numbers, the amount of times that number came up in a match, and the height, which is the number itself. Each character has a damage silhouette, so it's head, body, left arm, left leg, right leg. And each of those has an amount of wound boxes that you take. I believe the body has the most wound boxes, the head has the least, and the limbs are in between. And the width of the roll, wait, was it the width? Yes, the width of the roll determines how many of those wound boxes get ticked off. And the height of the roll determines like where the hit location lands. So if you roll like matching dice that hit on that are 10, 10 is the hit location for the head. And that only has 4 wound boxes. Once all those are ticked off, since it's the head, you're dead. Unless you take a power where you change like where your vital boxes are, so to speak. This game, you know, can also go crazy regarding the customizability of superpowers, but it does so in a more abstract manner. So you have powers that are used for attack, used for defense, or just used for something else. And due to that abstraction, unfortunately, in my experience, it makes it harder to come up with, I guess, balanced powers than you do for a game that has more like defined categories, like Mutants and Masterminds or GURPS or the hero system. Another thing that conceptually I liked, but in practice was also pretty messy, was that combat rounds are simultaneous, so everyone, let me see, so each character has a stat called sense, and the higher your sense stat is, it allows you to kind of predict what another person will do and act to counter that. So when a combat round starts, the person with the lowest senses declares what their character is going to do, and then the one with the higher senses declares what they're going to do, and so on and so forth. So like that, the people with higher senses can kind of act in order to undermine the effects of the person with the lower senses. And then everyone rolls their dice. And for this kind of game, you need dozens of D10s. I remember playing it with just 2 friends of mine, and I also had like 2 NPCs in combats, so I ended up having to roll all like 25 D10s that I have in like a bag specifically for games like this, and then like trying to sort out like what each person does. You know, you make the roll, you look for the matches, and the ones that have the widest matches go before the ones that have the lower matches. So that means if your action was to defend, if your defense roll had a more narrow matching set than the attacker's attack roll, it was just a waste. It didn't even contribute to mitigating that. And not only that, if you were to take damage in combat, it would immediately reduce the width of the of your action by 1. And if it went below 2, then your action just failed. So it's brutal. But no, this game has a lot of good ideas. And this book, this is the other game that I mentioned back when I talked about Savage Worlds, of being like highly affordable. You know, this book cost me $5 at the time, and so I believe I purchased like 6 copies of these, and I gave 5 away to some friends. I don't know what they make of it, but you know what, that's out of my hands. Right, and that's about it for now. Stay tuned for the next episode, where I'm going to show another handful of books and give a brief overview of them. My main focus is to keep these episodes at most like 10 minutes or so long, so that I can take advantage of the audience's generally short attention span. Sorry if that offends you, but it is what it is. If you have any comments regarding any of the games that I've shown, please leave a respectful comment at the comment section. Other than that, take care and play to find out what happens.